Welcome to Town Talk. Today our guest is Gilbert Gong. Welcome to Town Talk, Gilbert.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here today. What is your role at the City of Oakland? What do you do? And you've been here for a while, so maybe tell us how long you've been with the city and how did your story start with the City of Oakland?
I'm the Recreation Center Director at the Lincoln Square Recreation Center. I've been there about 25 plus years now, but in addition to working at the playground, I've actually been there almost my whole life.
Wow, and so tell me a little bit more about that. How did you get involved with Lincoln Rec Center? What was Lincoln Rec Center like when you were a kid? What was it like when you started working there?
My first exposure to Lincoln Square was when I was attending Chinese school as an elementary kid. We'd go there after school for Chinese lessons, and then we'd wait in the park until our parents got off work to come and pick us up. So it's through those opportunities I got to be daring, playing at the park and on the playground, and just interacting with other folks that I didn't go to school with or weren't from my neighborhood, but this neighborhood park was just a second home for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And did you grow up in that area, Chinatown?
Sure. So I grew up in the Highland Park area, so I went to Bella Vista Elementary School. I took the bus 15. I used to get off at Harrison Street, walk over to Chinese School, and then go to the park afterwards. And I'd say probably half my life was spent in Chinatown, because in addition to going to school there, my dad was in the Chinese Merchants Association. So one of those family associations where they talked about how to run businesses in Oakland, really supportive that way. So I had lots of different opportunities from not only being a student, but family just growing up in the area.
Wow. So ever since you were a child to now having worked at the Lincoln Rec Center as a director for 25 years, what are you living out your dream right now of like making the changes that you want to see happen at Lincoln Rec Center?
I am. It's it's not even work at all. I go to Lincoln Square every day, and it's like being in my own community. You know, the elders that I see there are like my own relatives. The children I see are like my own children. Same thing with the teenagers. So going to work is not work at all, but it's just another opportunity to engage with my family.
Did you always kind of feel like you were called to doing recreation as part of your public service, or did that kind of just land on your lap?
I'd say the recreation part kind of landed on my lap indirectly. I went to, I mentioned going to Bella Vista, and then I also went to what used to be called McChesney Middle School, and the principal is actually Edna Brewer, is named after the principal that I had. She was my principal there. Wow. Went to Oakland High, went to Laney College. I started getting involved in sports because at that point I hadn't really done sports personally myself, because my parents just didn't have the time and the resources for that, and we just didn't have the opportunities that we weren't exposed to them. And as I went through college, started taking different activities. Like, oh, this is pretty fun, doing all these different things. And then I started getting involved with the teaching program there, coaching the volleyball program, and getting involved with recruiting out to the high school kids. And then that's where I found out that a lot of the kids in Oakland just don't have the recreational resources. So at that point, I wanted to be a PE teacher. But then soon after I started my credential program, they cut PE programs in Oakland, which shifted me over to the recreation end of it. And it's been fantastic because it really opened even more opportunities outside of the classroom, but really being able to serve the whole community.
Wow. And Lincoln Rec Center, as I understand it, is one of the most heavily used recreation centers in all of the rec centers in Oakland. What would you attribute its success to?
I think that we've been able to work with the community. So a lot of the programs that we do at Lincoln Square are not just Lincoln Square programs, but we collaborate with a number of other agencies. So like the Chinese American Citizens Alliance, they provided us our first volunteer Tai Chi teacher and our ballroom dance teachers. The Toisan Association did the same thing. So through these community partnerships, we're able to leverage and offer additional activities that the city wasn't directly offering. So we have our children's programs and our teens programs, but all of our programs are supplemented by other community-based organizations at Lincoln Square.
Okay, so you not only serve children, you serve teens and sounds like aging citizens as well.
That's right. Yeah, when I first got to Lincoln Square, the recreation center was only open from like 2 o'clock to 6 o'clock for after school programs. And I was there full time by myself. I was like, well, I got to do something with this empty building. So I started reaching out to community folks, asking what types of activities they would like to do. And then the different agencies offered volunteers. And as a result, we were able to grow the programs so that we were operating 7 days a week from 7 in the morning till 9 p.m., which far exceeds a lot of the other community centers.
Yeah, I mean, with the way that the city of Oakland has changed over the last several years, I mean, Oakland's always undergoing change, but we're kind of a community that welcomes immigrants, people from all different types of backgrounds. Do you feel like your rec center has been able to meet those needs that kind of come through your front door?
Yeah, Lincoln Square has been able to meet that need and then some. From original, the Chinese folks migrating in, then we had the Vietnamese coming in, then we had the Cambodians coming in, and then the Mongolians. So it's always evolved, and identifying the needs of their community, what types of programming and activity was really crucial to doing that. And then the other significant factor was when OUSD started doing charter schools and small schools and open enrollment policies, so that now half the kids in Oakland don't go to their own neighborhood school. So Lincoln Square, we pick up a lot of those kids from the different schools, so we're able to cross these kids from different neighborhoods on the playground, which is a good thing. It's beneficial because kids are able to be exposed to other cultures and other identities, and through these experiences, they're more prepared so that when they leave Chinatown, they've had experience working with all the different ethnic groups.
Wow, I didn't even think about how the rec centers play such an important role for our kids. But we're going to continue this conversation. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Town Talk. We're here with Gilbert Gong, Lincoln Rec Center Director. You just mentioned kind of how the rec center playground is really important for the children to get to know each other from different neighborhoods, which sounds incredibly valuable. How do you design the programs to make them engaging and effective for small children?
I think for me, having skin in the game is what really changed the direction for me. From offering programs and services for the adults and seniors, my uncles, aunties, to my own children. And because my own children were involved, I wanted to make sure that I was providing the best opportunity possible. I had stated earlier that I didn't get a chance to do sports and activities as a kid. So one of my missions was that for all of our summer camp programs and day camp programs, that we expose children to every different type of activity that's available out there. And I was telling a lot of the parents, whatever my kids get the experience, your kids are going to go along for the ride. And through those opportunities, we've been able to teach kids how to swim, how to ride a bike, how to go hiking, how to swing a bat, how to swing a tennis racket. The whole idea is that by them being exposed to all these opportunities, it will open more doors for them, so that they don't have to be that flower on the wall because I don't know how to dance, or because I don't know how to throw a ball. I can't play ball with you guys. So these, opportunities to teach my own kids and all the neighborhood kids has really just kept me on my toes.
Yeah, your kids are so lucky, and so is the rest of the kids in the community. So you have the programs for the small children. What does your teen program look like? What does your senior program look like? How do community members kind of join in the effort of being a part of helping each other? So as you stated, a lot of partnerships have happened to make your rec center successful. So can you talk a little bit about like the other age groups?
Sure. So coming out of COVID, it's been a challenge for all of us. Rebuilding programs. A lot of folks have lost the social skills or working together with somebody. So we're really trying to put an emphasis on our team type of activities. So for like our little children, right now we're in our basketball league. A lot of the kids have never played on a team before. So they're learning concepts of, you mean I got to pass the ball to somebody else? I can't shoot by myself. You mean I have to communicate with each other? And then the same thing flows over to our teenagers. We reopened our volleyball program and our basketball programs. So they're learning again to play with each other. And through those opportunities that we offer on the playground, we're hoping to bridge that gap. On Fridays from 3 to 5, we have a group called Area Youth Ministries. They come down and they set the volleyball net on the playground, badminton nets, and basketball, and pickleball. They have snacks and drinks, and these mentoring groups, this volunteer group comes and just really provides an extra opportunity that my staff don't have the capacity to do. So again, it's bringing outside partners in to supplement what the city is or isn't able to offer.
Right, right. And I mean, I think big kudos to you and your staff for creating those opportunities for community organizations to come in and have the time and the space to use that, empty space and create some programming. I understand that Lincoln Rec Center is a resilience hub. What are the components that make Lincoln Rec Center a resilience hub?
Sure. So years ago, we started talking about we need a new recreation center. Ours is old, the roof leaks, it's not big enough. It's like one group in, one group out. We weren't able to host multiple group activities at one time. So when the city decided to put together a master plan, we're moving forward on a recreation center, there was no discussion of resiliency components because resiliency wasn't a real thing back then. And as we've evolved this project, we've hosted numerous groups and talked about, well, what do we do in the event of natural disasters? What do we do when it's too hot, when it's too cold, when the air is bad? So we talked about implementing some of those things, but those were all structural type of things, infrastructure. What we weren't talking about was what we were already doing, connecting the community to resources, whether it's the CalFresh food stamp signups or connecting them with COVID testing, food distributions, social skill development. And these are all components that we talk about, is that we need to make our communities more resilient. So not just putting a roof over their head, but providing opportunities to support and guide them. So this all-in-one neighborhood center component is there so that we're able to do all these different things at one time. So we're not just a recreation center, but we're a resource center. We're an emergency response center, so that we're that all-in-one type of facility. And it's been really great working with all the different departments in the city, because no longer is it just a recreation discussion, but it's a human services discussion. It's the Office of Emergency Services discussion. It's bringing all these things that the city does for the community all in one place, along with all of our community partners.
Right. Wow. That sounds like an incredible endeavor. Bring all of our city departments together and serving the community at large. I mean, how do you keep manage all of these moving parts?
Well, there are a lot of management of moving parts. Thank goodness for Outlook. That helps, as well as partners that keep me on task.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll forget certain things, or I won't be aware of something. But my partners and us, we have this open line of communication. It's like, just tell me what I need to do.
Right.
And I think that willingness on all of our parts to be able to be willing to listen to each other and to share ideas together, that's really made the biggest difference. And one of the things we're hoping for, that as we're piloting this project, that we're going to be able to replicate this in other communities. We want to be able to model how working with the communities, so it's not just a government project, but it's a community-based project. Connecting all those pieces of the puzzle together is how we're able to effectively and efficiently offer these resources.
Yeah, fantastic. Sounds like you built the infrastructure for the relationships to really happen.
Yes.
Well, we're going to take another break, and we'll be right back with more from Gilbert Gong. Welcome back to Town Talk. Today we're meeting with our guest, Gilbert Gong. Thank you, Gilbert, for being here. We're going to continue our conversation about anything that has surprised you about being a rec director at Lincoln. So now that you've been here 25 years. Has anything surprised you?
Clearly, the COVID situation really shocked all of us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we weren't sure what we could do, but we knew we needed to provide something, especially for the children. It was really hard knowing that kids were stuck at home and not with their friends and not being able to connect, not to be in a live classroom. And fortunately, the city of Oakland was decided that they were going to provide children's programs for essential service kids. So that opened the door of opportunity for us to be able to connect with the kids in these dire times. And the lessons that we learned from that are that it's super important that our kids have somewhere to go.
Right.
They need to have a sense of belonging. And I think the Office of Parks and Recreation, as well as the city, has learned a lot from that lesson. And that extends also to our adults and seniors. When the seniors came back, when we first opened back, they were so happy to see each other. They had not been in contact with their community for years. And many of our elders are living in Chinatown by themselves because they're distanced from their families. So being able to come together was really important, which goes in line with what the city and the council were talking about in a number of reports, that we've got all these fantastic places in Oakland, we have all these beautiful parks, but we need to organize activities so that we can bring people back together, so that folks can really learn to be together and just appreciate each other that much more.
You talk about sort of being in relationship with all the other parts in the community. Who are some of the partners that have helped you the most, or have even supported, any of your efforts to be this bridge in the community?
So we're fortunate to have over 30 community partners, in no particular order because they all do their different unique things. Asian Pacific Environmental Network has been really crucial in assisting us with grant applications and in developing environmental justice type programs. In partnering with them, we've received over $30 million in funding from different sources. The Chinese American Citizens Alliance, I mentioned earlier that they helped us recruit volunteers from their membership to teach Tai Chi and dancing classes. The Lincoln School Parents Club, the Golden Dragon Project, we're able to stay connected with the local school community, and that's really important so that we're understanding what their needs are. Chinatown Chamber of Commerce, Oakland Chinatown Improvement Council, in providing street activations, doing Lincoln Summer Nights, Oakland Town Nights, the Chinese New Year Parade. So hopefully we'll be able to replicate how to have partnerships throughout the city of Oakland, and hopefully all of the different groups would realize that by working together, you really can achieve more for your community.
That's amazing. Once the Resilience Hub is done, do you feel like your work will be done? And can you think beyond it and see what would be next for the Lincoln Rec Center?
We're already thinking about what's going to happen in this new building. We hope to see it open from 6 a.m. to midnight, 7 days a week. So it serves a full range of activities, from adults and seniors to the late night workers that need something to do, when it gets dark. We want this new project to generate additional foot traffic for Chinatown, so that folks would support our grocery stores and our businesses and our families that work at those businesses, creating that infrastructure, partnering with Office of Emergency Services for emergency preparedness. We'll be doing CERT trainings in the next 2 months so that we're doing the personal emergency preparedness programs and training folks to be able to help others in times of emergency. It's just so exciting that how much more we'll be able to do in the community. And I'm really banking on all our partnerships, because I know as a city employee, we cannot do it all ourselves. So we're really relying on all of our community partners to make this happen in this community. And like I said, that it's a pilot that we can replicate throughout the city of Oakland and beyond.
Do you find yourself sort of helping people in the community navigate or understand how the city works?
Absolutely. And one thing that I forgot to mention was years ago, the city administrator's office had this Oakland Citizens Academy program. And that happened right about when I took over at Lincoln. And I remember going to speak there. So what that program was they had representatives from each of the different departments in the city come and do a presentation so that residents would learn about the fire department, the police department, the legal department, the libraries, and parks and recreation. And I remember folks saying, well, Gilbert, you've shared with us all these dreams and everything about what you want to do at the rec center. How are you going to make it happen? And I said, with volunteers like you, because you've taken the time to learn about the city, you've learned about what we're able to do and what we're not able to do. And through your volunteerism, we'll be able to do so many more things. So many of those folks volunteered at Lincoln Square as the teachers, as well as driving our core program, our Citizens of Oakland Responding to Emergencies. And they're going to be the base group for our CERT program, because we want to inform folks of how much help we all need.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like coming full circle. It's like you have the front door, training people, people come back, and it kind of continues to give. So that's great. My last question is there anything that you would want the community to remember you by as the rec center director?
I hope they'll remember me as that city employee that was always looking out for their best interests. You know, I want them to continue helping each other. You know, we talk about that at the rec center all the time. One story I remember a number of years ago, our elders were being beat up in the streets. And then at the same time, we had young adults that were still kind of involved in the gang type of stuff. And the two groups looked at each other as kind of like adversaries. So I told the teenagers, look, how would you feel if you came home and you found out that your aunt got beat up, but your friends that were there saw it happening and didn't step up to protect your elders? And they go, oh, that's wrong. So from that point, they started looking out for the elders. And I told the elders, don't look at them as these bad kids, because we've talked with them and they're looking out for you. So just bridging those kinds of gaps and helping folks understand each other was really vital to strengthening Lincoln Square and beyond. So hopefully that happens in all of our neighborhoods throughout Oakland.
Yeah, that's a wonderful model. And, you know, once again, Gilbert, thank you for being here today and talking with us and sharing all of your experiences and your wisdom about working at Lincoln Rec Center and beyond. Well, that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining us at Town Talk. We'll see you again next time.